Hey, everybody. It's Mrs. Denard.
And Mrs. Cotillo.
And we are here to introduce you to our next episode on A Bulldog's Passion. And this episode is chickens.
And this is another, I know I keep saying this, but this is another student who really has this passion inside of school and outside of school. Every time we have, our meetings and we're working on our projects, she's showing me pictures of her chickens and she's talking about them.
Her chickens.
My husband and I have been floating the idea of getting chickens over the summer, and she's been giving me advice and she's been telling me about which kinds to get and not to get. And she definitely knows her stuff.
Yeah, she definitely does. She loves her chickens. Which brings me to the fact that she was very, very sad because Mr. Gretter will not let her bring her chickens to the Knowledge Expo. But I told her she can bring a stuffed chicken.
There you go. Well, and I think I told her she could take videos of her chickens.
That's a good idea.
And put them on her, include them in her project somehow. I know it's not the
pressure,
same.
Mr. Gretter.
If you're listening and you change your mind, you let us know.
We could keep them outside.
But so she definitely loves her chickens, and it's funny. I talked to another student who also has chickens and does not love their chickens as much. That they're just more of a chore. So it's cool to see them more as
Both
like
sides.
a pet. Yeah,
and it's funny because one has them for pleasure, which is Zoey, and the other student has them for. Because they live on a farm, so it's a different perspective,
right?
As from different sides. So it's actually very interesting to, as you said, to see the different sides of what they like and how they view chickens.
Right. Does Zoe have any other pets, or is it just the chickens? I don't remember.
I am not sure. I don't remember.
I'm curious. I think having chickens must make you very responsible as a kid if you're involved in the process of taking care of them, which Zoe, sounds like she's very involved with. And I just wonder, it seems to me maybe even more involved than taking care of another pet, because most pets you just feed and water and you take them outside, and chickens seem like they're a lot of work.
Yes, and chickens you definitely have to protect them from the natural predators that are in everybody's yards in New Jersey. So yeah, they are a lot of work. I had them for a little while, and they were a lot of work.
Yeah. And you wouldn't think that, at first when you think, oh, chickens, they just kind of hang out and walk around and do their thing, but...
No, they were a lot. I also had ducks.
Oh.
Yeah, they were a lot of work. We had to clip their wings because they flew to my neighbor's house. It was,
wow. What's the benefit of having a duck?
Libby thought they were cute.
That's it? Mm-hmm. Well, because I know a lot of people have chickens for the eggs. That makes sense. And they sell them or they use them. And eggs are really expensive right now. And it makes sense to have them. But I don't really hear about people having pet ducks. We did have a neighbor when we lived in Brick. They had ducks that would fly into their pool all the time. And they would call them their pets, but they flew away.
Yeah, no, but, I forget what our ducks' names were. There were 3 of them. We had 3 little ducks.
3 little ducks.
3 little ducks. But those were also animals we had to keep away from the predators, they're very hard, just like chickens. But we will let Zoe take it away with this episode on chickens because she definitely knows a lot more than we do.
Oh, for sure.
And hopefully you will be inspired to maybe get some chickens because they are really great. They're cuddly, like ours were cuddly, and they're sweet.
Which is funny because to me, I just think of the chicken, dinosaur connection. And they don't seem, I know they're soft with the feathers, but they don't seem cuddly to me. They seem scary. So that's pretty cool that they can be, a soft and nice pet.
Yes.
And if you go to our school, talk to Zoe if you're interested in chickens, because she can tell you anything you want to know.
And if you see Mr. Gretter in passing, ask him about chickens at the Knowledge Expo. All right. Enjoy. All right.
Hey, we're back with another episode of A Bulldog's Passion. Today we're here with Zoe to learn all about chickens. Hello. Hi.
And Mrs. Denard's here too.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you can join us. So let's get started. So how did chickens become your passion?
So, my dad got chickens when I was little, and I fell in love with them, and I thought they were a really interesting animal. So when I heard about me being in ECG, I thought I would take loving chickens to put that to be my passion.
Wow, that's amazing. So would you say your dad kind of inspired you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, moving on, let's talk about what's your favorite, like, was there any kind of combination of, like, maybe a chicken with different colors that you, liked that you had when you were little?
Yeah, I could tell their differences, so I would name them by using, like, that. So, like, I liked how they weren't all, like, the same. Even though they're the same breed, doesn't mean that they are all identical.
Oh, so the same breed can have different colors, kind of like we have different hair colors and things like that. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So what are 3 things that you truly enjoyed learning about chickens?
One reason is one reason of me liking chickens is probably
Are they fun?
yeah, they're fun. Like I like playing with them and I like holding them. And then another reason is I like going out there and seeing if there's eggs because that just gets me so excited. And the third reason would probably be just naming them because that's just fun and pointing out their differences.
Yeah. Well, going back to your second reason, do most of the chickens have like the yolks in them or baby chicks?
So you'd have to have a hen and a rooster. So then a hen is a chicken. So then they'd go together and then they could lay baby chicks. But if there's no rooster, the hen would just lay eggs that you could eat.
Oh.
So do you have any roosters?
No. My dad's like, I'm not getting them. I'm not waking up at 5 o'clock hearing them do that noise.
I agree with your dad.
Yeah. Well, when you got your eggs, were you able to eat them or did you have to do something special with them?
So usually we eat them, but sometimes if we haven't ate them in a while, my dad would do that, like put in the water the trick, so then he could see if they're still good to eat or not so good.
Yeah, there's a water trick that if you put it in water, it doesn't have to be boiling water. If you put it in water, if it floats, it's...
I forget which
way I forget
it is.
which way it is, but yeah, you just put it in water, and if it floats, it's one thing, and if it sinks, it's another, and I don't know which one. We can find out more about that.
Yeah. What is the weirdest or strangest fact that you learned about chickens?
Probably one of the chicken breeds. Which is a Polish chicken breed. It's where it has feathers on its head and they like curl back.
Ooh.
And I thought that was like weird how, because I know just like the comb of the top of the chicken and like a waddle. So I didn't like when I saw that, I'm like, whoa, it looks like it has a really funny hairstyle.
A really funny hairstyle.
Yeah, it sounds like it has like that's great for crazy hair day.
Yeah.
What kind of chickens do you have? Do you have one specific kind?
I have one specific kind, and it's the Golden Comet chickens.
Oh,
So-
how did you choose those?
So we went to a store, and we saw we went to them during the spring, and then they had like different breeds of chickens when they were baby chicks. So we chose those because there's different colors of them too, and from my experience, like getting different colors, some of them were meaner than others. So yeah, we chose the breed that we thought would be the best.
Oh, awesome.
How many kinds of breeds are there?
There's a lot.
A lot, I think.
There's like over 1 billion, I think.
Oh, no, not over. I'm not sure over 1 billion. There's a lot of different breeds of chickens.
There's 1 billion chickens, like more than people. Right. I got mixed up there.
Yes, there's 1 billion chickens in the world.
Like there's
But the breeds, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Because everywhere I try to find it, it wouldn't give an exact number.
It didn't give an exact number, yeah.
Because no one knows.
Yeah, probably
no one knows.
No one probably knows how many because there's probably that much.
And aren't certain breeds better for like laying eggs and things like that? Are there certain...
It depends about the person. Like if they like, it depends because if they like eating the eggs, they could specifically tell. But if like they're just like, if they sell them, like they don't really care.
Oh, okay.
So it depends which way you go with that.
Okay. Okay. So the taste of the eggs is a little different, but it's hard to tell.
But a chicken egg is way better than a store product egg, by the way.
Well, yeah, because a fresh chicken egg is fresh. And the store-bought chicken eggs have to go through a process.
Like a factory.
Yeah.
And you want to know that it's fresh from a chicken.
Yeah. So the chickens that you may find on a farm, are they different from the chickens that you may see at a petting zoo or anywhere else?
Well, it depends which way the farmer's putting them, because the farmer could raise them and then eat them, or the farmer could raise them and then use their eggs to sell. And a zoo, I wouldn't think they'd kill them for the meat. So it depends what type of farm it is and what type,
What almost like purpose they have the chickens?
Yeah.
You would say. Okay. Well, was there anything else?
Any cool fact?
There's also another chicken breed that I really like. It's called the Silky, and it's very puffy. It's like a big puffball. Like when chicks are little, and like 2 days after they hatch, they get really fluffy. It's like that, but all grown up instead of feathers. It's like really puffy.
Wow. Which do you like better, like grown-up chickens or baby chicks?
I like both because baby chicks are really cute and they can fit in their hands, so they're really cute and they cuddle with you. But I like adult chickens too because they're just like, they're my size, so they could cuddle in my arms and I could pet them.
Well, if I was trying to become such a big expert like how you are, what would be like one thing that you would tell me?
The first thing I'd probably tell you is what kind of nesting area they need if you do get them, because if you do get them, if you want to become an expert, I would start off where, like, what they need, like, importantly.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of nesting they need and stuff like that.
So there's lots of different ways to do the nesting?
Yeah, you could give them, like, you could put, like, a, like, piece of wood and they could lay on that, and on the ground you could put like dirt or like hay, or you could give them like an actual like fancy floor with some grass and stuff like that.
Oh,
don't chickens also take dirt baths?
Yes,
okay.
I love that part.
What is that for people that don't know?
What is
that? So like a dirt bath is it's like a dust bath, so they try to find like a little hole or like to fit their like round body in it, and they'd lay in it and they'd peck at it like around in a circle, and then they'd get like cuddling in it, and then they'd flip up the dirt and then it goes so high, and then they like cuddle around it, and then it gets all in their feathers, and I love watching it because I think it's entertaining. And then they come out and then like they like do this thing where they shake and all the dirt comes out of their feathers, and I think it's really cool. I personally call it the fluffy because their feathers get all poofed and then to get the dirt out.
Wow. So, what do chickens like to eat? Because I know like we like to eat chickens, but what do chickens eat?
They like, as a treat, they like eating watermelon, strawberry, and blueberry. Like that's a treat to them. But if you'd feed them, you'd give them like a certain type of corn and water, what they really need. But if they go outside too, they would eat the bugs that they find. And like also like a worm is like a treat to them too.
I didn't know they eat bugs or even eat like almost like the fruits that we eat. Yeah. Or like you're saying the watermelon, do they eat the red part like how we do, or do they?
Yeah, usually they just like peck at it and see if they like it, and then they'd eat it, and then they'd leave the green part out. Sometimes they like eat it because they don't know about it yet. But if you give it to them multiple times, they'll know what to eat.
So they're not originally like on to know like what they eat or not. Like they always peck at it to see.
Yeah, like when they first have it. Like if we first have a food, we want to pick at it, see if we like it. That's the same to them.
Yeah. So they are a little similar to us about eating.
Yeah.
Except for eating the bugs. I personally don't eat bugs.
You're not going to eat bugs?
No. I don't know if you've eaten bugs. I don't know.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a favorite type of bug, but I don't eat bugs.
No bugs for me.
No, thank you.
Could I share a fact?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
So since chickens don't have teeth, they have like that beak. So they'd eat food, and then a few minutes later they find like a really really tiny rock like that they'd scratch, and then they'd eat it. so it helps their digestive system. When I first heard about that, I thought it was really weird because, like, wow, a chicken's eating a rock. But then I found out that they do it for their digestive system, since they, like, kind of swallow it whole almost, because it's hard for them to peck at certain foods, so they use a rock.
Right, because they don't have teeth to mush up the food, so they eat a rock, and the rock kind of...
Yeah.
Kind of hits it, like,
it's like their teeth.
Yeah. They use a rock for their teeth.
Yeah. Well, when we were talking, I just started wondering, like, I know when you put, like, your hand to a fist, that's, like, the size of your heart. Yeah. I mean, chickens don't have fists, so they can't tell. Would a heart be smaller for a chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little smaller. I guess I can imagine it being smaller, like really small.
Like, if you put our fist to see our heart, how big do you think that would be for a chicken, like, by looking at the size of its body?
That would be a really big heart in a chicken body.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
The bigger the heart, the more love.
That's true. So your chickens must have really big hearts because you love them so much.
Yes.
Yes. Are there any animals that chickens are afraid of? Or that they have to watch out for? Or
they're predators.
Or you, as the chicken owner, need to watch out for?
I would say, like, foxes are, like, a big one, because, like, they could sneak around and get them. And another one is coyotes. They could get them. Possums could also, like, they're not, like, in my opinion, I feel like I would keep my chickens away from them, because they could be, like, sneaky too and try to, like, get their feathers or something, and I wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So do feathers almost, like, are they really important to chickens? Like, do they keep them warm? Do they add protection?
Yeah, because if there's no feathers, it'd be a naked chicken, which that is a chicken breed, and then it'd be like, it's almost like they're naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
like, it keeps them covered.
Yeah, like they would get sunburned.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like us not having skin. Well,
Right.
As tough skin.
Right.
Like,
right.
in the cold too, it keeps them warm.
So how do they grow extra feathers in the wintertime to keep warm, or do they puff their feathers up to keep them warm?
Usually, like, they just usually they stay the same, and they huddle together if they're really cold. And then in the winter, I put a heat lamp on them so they won't freeze, but it's on the top so they won't get to it, because some of them, I personally don't like the ones that stay on the ground, because they could go into them and then it could get them really hurt.
How long do chickens, like, stay alive for?
Around, like, 5 years.
5 years.
Like, they're not long.
So how old are your chickens?
I would say a year, 2 years. Because I got them 2 springs ago, so yeah, about 2 years.
Do you get new chickens every spring?
Well, once they pass away, then we'd get new ones.
Okay.
So you're gonna keep on getting chickens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, chickens sound like a lot of fun.
Yes.
I mean, there probably is a lot of work to put in to take care of them, but from what you explained, they seem like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you had $100,000 to spend on chickens, what would you spend it on?
Probably more chickens.
Okay.
And a bigger coop, and, like, better food, like, better, like, more food, and so they could stay way healthy, like, a lot.
Awesome. So you'd spend all that money on your chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's probably getting, like, a very high advanced coop and a lot, like, very expensive chicken food.
Yeah.
And, like, all the nice, it's almost like a rich chicken. If you think about it.
A chicken mansion. I want to live in Zoey's chicken mansion.
It's probably as big as our house is, probably, if you had that much money.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to tell us about chickens from your own experience of owning chickens, and for somebody that doesn't know anything about chickens, anything else you want to tell us?
From my experience, white chickens are very rude to each other. They're like, they'd peck each other's feathers and they'd rip their claws with them, and they'd like hurt each other.
Ooh, that's not nice.
And they could I don't want to say this, but they could kill each other.
Right.
Which I don't like that. So that's the only time we got white chickens.
Oh, okay.
But some people think that they're really nice, like the chickens that we have now. So I guess it's just the chickens that we got, or their behavior, or from our experience.
From your experience, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Do we have any other questions for Zoey?
What was the most interesting thing that you learned?
Of how long it takes for a chicken to hatch out, a baby chick to hatch out of its egg. That takes about a whole day, like 24 hours for it to actually...
From when it first pecks at it to coming out, it takes a whole day? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I thought it took like maybe like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would be longer, but now like a whole day.
Have you ever had the eggs? Have you ever incubated your own eggs, or do you get the chickens when they're babies?
We got the chickens when they're babies, because when they're eggs, you have to keep very, very close watch on them, because then you have to make sure to get any egg pieces off if they stick onto the chick, because they're wet when they come out. They're not all puffy yet.
Yeah. So, well, when the chickens or chicks are born, does it take like 24 hours to peck because maybe like their beaks aren't as strong, or like do they get stronger as they keep pecking?
I would say it gets stronger as they keep pecking, because that's building up their muscle by getting out of the egg, which is pretty tough. Easy for us, but harder for them. Because they're also really little.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So many interesting things about chickens. I'm so excited. And I think you actually inspired Mrs. Cotillo, because I think Mrs. Cotillo is getting chickens now. So your passion has inspired Mrs. Cotillo, which is awesome, which we love to do with these passions, is to kind of pass on our love for something.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems like your goal is completed. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We had so much fun and learned so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.